Man, I just hope men understand, like, women, they want nothing to do with kids. I'm talking about they I don't I've had this theory even when I was younger. Like, there's a lot of women out there that just don't like kids at, I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about they want nothing to do with kids. This is why I always come into, it's fair for a guy like Corey Holcomb. If a woman gets pregnant, especially in today's age, a young woman gets pregnant, you have to ask, okay, why did you keep this one? You have to ask that. You have to ask that. I grew up seeing like teachers literally say, I hate kids. I'm like, so why are you teaching? I'm talking about female teachers. Anyways, I just wanted to put that as an aside. This video, this is what I want you to focus on. This video, this guy, he's just going to talk about the economics, right? And even the woman that reposted this, she's going to talk about the economics. We're going to talk. This is really an economic post in terms of parenting and economics. And they're going to talk about, is a second job really worth it with daycare costs, right? So usually you'll have two, because nowadays two parents, they have to work, but they're going to talk about, is it really worth the second parent getting the second job, or should the parent should just stay home? Now, mind you, they didn't say the mom has to stay home or the father. They just said parent. They said in a two-parent household, it's probably better for one of the parents to stay home. They didn't even say which one. The guy specifically, he didn't say which specific one. But after them explaining the economics, and after this woman here reposting the video, the comments is going to be nothing about the video. They're going to be focusing on the wrong thing. Watch this video right here.
The daycare costs being so astronomical these days, I feel like a lot of two-parent households are going to go down to just one parent working. And I know that sounds backwards, but if you really run the math, if daycare is costing the average family $2,000 to $3,000 a month, let's use a husband and wife as an example. If a husband made $90,000 a year, his take-home pay after taxes is probably around $75,000. If the wife goes, I'm going to go get a job for $50,000 so we can get to $140,000, that's going to help our family. But after taxes, it's only $38,000 more. And if your daycare cost is $2,500 a month, that's $30,000 for the year. So you're working 40 hours a week and commuting for only $8,000 extra for the whole year, $650 a month. I feel like the parents could work out, like, how do we downgrade our cars, or what do we do to make up that $650? I feel like a lot of parents now are going to figure out for just 5 years until the kids are in kindergarten how to have one parent work so they can save the money, raise their children, and then when they go to kindergarten, go get that job for $50,000, $60,000. Now all of a sudden they can start building wealth again. But that's kind of an interesting concept. I would break down your numbers and see if it's really worth it when it's all said and done, getting a second job, but also having to have daycare.
So this is interesting, man. So I'm gonna play it without the sound. I just want to pause it at one point. But I want you to see something real quick. So they're just explaining the economics of being in a two-parent household and just saying one of the parents is probably going to stay home. They didn't say the mom has to stay home. They didn't say the dad has to stay home. Now, in his case, he say parent one is the husband making $90K and then $75K after taxes. And let's just say parent two is the wife making $50K, $38K after taxes, right? And then he was just using that as an example. Now, instead of focusing on the economics and when he's mentioning about, hey, maybe we need to downgrade cars and stuff like that. You know what I was going to do this topic about? I was going to focus on parents not doing whatever is necessary to put their kid in the best situation, because I don't believe kids should be in a daycare, really, unless if it's like something where you're like it's like part of a private school. If the place is connected to a private school or a magnet school where all the kids are going to be together all the way up until like middle school or high school or something like that, or if you put your kids in a Montessori, you know what I mean? It needs to be something like that, not like just some old day in a daycare where you're just dropping them off with with these randoms as the daycare workers. So I was gonna go into that, but when I saw the comments, I was like, you know what? There's no hope. There's no hope. Do you know what most of these comments was focusing on? And I'm sorry to kind of lead you guys on and have you wait for the answer, but these comments, you know what they were focused on? You know what? Why is the husband making $90K? It's probably the woman making $90K. And you're just like, bruh, he wasn't specific. He was just using the husband as a hypothetical for parent one, because actually, statistically, he's most likely to be parent one. You're just, I'm like, this is all the comments are focused on. I want you to see this right here. Watch this. He says, you see the first comment from a woman. First of all, most men don't make 90K, so the woman working, making the 50, is actually helping paying more things than just the daycare. Now, if all the men made 90K, this would make more sense, but the majority, especially because most of the workforce is blue collar and blah, 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 blah. That's his point, you dumb broad. He's saying, you what? Okay, that makes it even more. He's saying maybe you should still have one of you guys working, and then one of you guys maybe working a minimal job or no job, or get your the other person put themselves in position where they can be taking care of the child. Because if you're gonna put your kid in daycare anyways, there's no point in the other partner working. I don't understand these people, bro. I don't understand these. I don't know how they don't get this. He's the point of him even picking a salary like that. He's just showing even in your best case scenario, like this is a best case scenario for a decent earning man, which even most women won't even be able to get. So even basically in your best situation where you're making your 50K and he's making close to 100K, if you're going to put your kid in daycare in the first place, there's no point in the other parent working. That's what he's but they're just so focused on, oh, the husband is probably not making 90K. Why does the husband have to be parent one? That's not the point. But like I said, like these are the broads that y'all want to marry so bad. These are the bro, they don't care about kids, though. They're just literally looking at, I'm the one making 90K. I'm the one making. I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with these people, dog? Where they're talking about the economics and what's best for the kids in the situation, and purely off the economics. I was going to talk about, I was going to use this video to actually call out the parents for not downgrading. You know what I mean? And doing and how they prioritize, keeping up with the Joneses over putting their kids in the best scenario. But here you have the broads. They're just worried about they're worried about, oh, I'm parent one. It's crazy. So right here, you have somebody else saying, y'all new president is planning on dropping Head Start, other school programs. Good luck. Y'all played yourselves. Bruh, that's now it's time to blame Orange Man. Oh man. And then somebody else says it's not always about the money, it's about keeping yourself in the workforce. Oh my God. I'm gonna skip that one. And then right here, I saw this comment. I had me laughing because I don't know if you guys remember, she's a page turner. That one broad that advocates for divorce, and even her admitting that she divorced a perfectly good dude. There's nothing wrong with divorcing a perfectly good. Hey yo, man, this is what your trad wife's gonna turn into, dog. I'm telling you, trad conduits. That's what y'all trad wives is gonna turn into. Don't say I didn't warn you. So right here, she's saying, tell me that you have never once considered the long-term impact of leaving the workforce has on women, because we're talking about women here. He said parents, but we know he means mom. Like I said, they're focused on the wrong thing. They're focused on the wrong thing, man. And they keep talking about, women in the workforce, and my career is taking a back step. What career? The ones that be complaining about the career the most, and I'd be looking at what career they have. It's not even a career. Bish, data entry is not really a career, dog. No disrespect to people making money off data entry, but that's not really a career. That's you pushing papers and pens for, at in the AC conditioned office. You know what I mean? That's not a career. That's, ninja, that's bruh. And I'm not dissing those jobs. I'm just saying they keep talking about my career is taking a back step. I'm like, what career? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh man, stop it. Anyways, so right here, another woman said daycare is temporary. Your career is not. Everyone deserves their choice. Again, this thing with this whole career. And then the reason why women are most likely to be parent too, because they're not really choosing a career that's of actual significance. where they can actually make real money. I hope I didn't blow out my mic. Pause, because I screamed into my mic earlier on with that comment earlier on. I cannot believe this broad. Let me look at that comment again, where she's just focusing on. Well, first of all, most men don't make 90K. That's not even the point. Oh man, yo, hey, homie, these broads, and I'm talking like what I've seen, particularly from TradCon dudes, where they're just basically trying to make the women be housewives and stuff like and make them do traditional stuff. Guys, you're wasting your time, dog. They want. I'm talking about. And like even when we say that women are naturally more nurturing, I think that's false. I think we've had women out wrong. Like we've had them wrong from the get go. I don't think they're naturally nurturing. That because if they were naturally nurturing, even when given the opportunity to quote unquote be quote unquote independent, quote unquote, right? It would be most of them still vying to be a wife or to be chosen by a man, right? They want as soon as they have the opportunity, even to the detriment of to their own community, they're like, shoot, I can be away from it. I can get money and not only get my own money, I can get money from a man without me being in a relationship with him. They were like, man, I'll take that deal. Oh man. So right here. So somebody said, have you ever stayed home with two kids under 5 when they are 1.5 years apart? Trust me, I prefer to work. Now, you know what's interesting? There's been dudes where they've said like, yo, I remember I had to, take 2 years off, whatever, of work and take care of the kids at home. And they said it was the easiest job they've ever had. But that's a whole other story. I don't want to, stomp on people's parade. That's why I say when you look at the statistics where it's like the two markers of success is if a kid is in a two-parent household with a mom and a dad, and if he's with a single dad. So clearly it's clear who the problem is, right? It's pretty clear. And then compare and contrast that to the single mammy statistics. It's crazy, you know. Um, so right here, somebody said, yeah, but women are so heavily penalized for leaving the workforce that it's worth it. Unfortunately, just to stay for those 4 years or whatever it is, long term, the family will make more with whatever career progression she can make in those 4 years. But anyways, like I said, you got uh, homie. I will say this because I think a lot of dudes they're holding out hope because a lot of them I think just for me, just for me, there's too much evidence that women want nothing to do with most guys, right? There's just too much evidence for me to see that. So I tend to just go out of my way to stay away from them, right? But this thing where you're holding out hope because you think that they're going to come to their senses so you can finally find a woman so you can quote unquote make a love child, because that's really what it is. Because it's just dudes, it's just dudes with a lot of with minimal sexual options that want an excuse to make a love child with the woman. And I will just say this: I just don't think these are the women to do it to do that with. I just don't. Their head is not in the right space, dog. So I just abstain. And I say this: if I get the money, like say if I get enough money and I say I want and I say I want a kid, I'm gonna get a surrogate. I'm gonna get a surrogate because there's no point of having like an American wife. And if I'm like say if I'm not gonna move to a Colombia or whatever, right, Mexico or one of these spots, or just move overseas, Ecuador, one of these. Like if I'm not gonna move to one of these spots where I have a little bit of a chance, or somewhere in Asia, whatever. If I'm gonna stay in America and they're telling me, yo, I need to have a kid. If I have the money, I'm gonna do a surrogate because you're dealing with a such a wild card, such an X factor that you don't know what you're gonna get if you put a baby in that woman, right? So I always say the safest thing is look, why or you'll tell a dude. This is how you know that dudes they're just looking to have an excuse to make a love child. This is how you know. You tell them, okay, why don't you do surrogacy, right? Why don't you consider that? Oh no, I don't really want to do that. Okay, so why don't you as a dude, okay, since okay, how about adoption? Why don't you adopt a kid? Oh no, I ain't gonna adopt a kid. But you were planning to have a kid with a single mom that says that loves you. Okay, anyway, but whatever, fine. No adoption. I got you. Fine. Just adopt, and then just you be the single father and you raise the kid. Oh no. But it looks for the most part, because when I see these comments, when I first of all when I hear women talk, it's just clear as day. They have no they want nothing to do with being a mother. They want nothing to do with raising and rearing kids because in their mind they see it as beneath them. They think being a quote unquote career woman, which is basically, and most of them don't even have a career. It's just it's not even a career that they have. But in their mind, they'd rather be a quote unquote career woman, slaving away for somebody that doesn't even care about them than raising their kids. Even though economically it makes no sense for both parents to work, and especially if one is making significantly more than the other, it makes no sense for the person making less to keep going to work where you could just basically stay home and make sure the kid is taken care of. That's why I say, like, if you're making a lot of money, you're better off doing it how Cristiano Ronaldo's doing it, having a surrogate, right? And then you can hire a girlfriend if you want, but you really have a maid and a nanny to kind of take care of the slight work, and then you could just have the trophy girlfriend that you can give her a salary. Now, for some, people might look down on that, but that's the safest way to go because I'm telling you, the people that you're trying to convince to be, your partner or your mom, the mothers or whatever, they want nothing to do with that, dog. It's clear as day to me. It's clear as day. They want nothing to do with that. Hell, they don't even want to be mothers themselves. So they don't even want to have kids unless if there's some kind of financial or genetic benefit to them. So I'm just letting you guys know. just letting you guys know, all y'all dudes that want to, a lot of these dudes, they just want an excuse to make a love child. And hey, good luck with that. Just good luck with that, man. Good luck with that.